He's the new man in town and about town.
How are you? I'm Philip.
Fresh to the job, the city's top Anglican is on a mission to meet Melburnians. Practising Love Thy Neighbour, he didn't stray too far from the flock first time out.
I'm the Anglican Archbishop.
Yeah.
And that's my cathedral.
The Most Reverend Dr. Freer insists he's not out to fill it on what will be regular jaunts around town. They're not quite ready to convert to Anglicanism yet?
No, not yet.
No.
Hindu students from India were even less likely to cross over.
God is everywhere. Why should we go in the temples?
So you wouldn't go to his church across the road?
No.
And then there was Buddhist Chantha, whose partner is Anglican and their son Christian. At least that's his name.
It's a great idea. They should actually go around and speak to like communities and so forth, people, especially everyday people.
Jesus is my model of how I want to conduct my ministry, and I think that he would be out here amongst people.
Shopping centres are next, starting with Fountain Gate next week. Will you set up a store, maybe sell some scones or something?
I'm not sure my cooking is quite that good.
Melburnians who miss out on meeting Dr. Freer during his suburban pilgrimage can always find out what he's up to on the Anglican website, where he has his own blog. And if you can't catch up with him at home here at St Paul's, you can always shoot him an email.
And God bless you too. Bye-bye.
Wayne Dyer, National 9 News.
And so began the Archbishop's quest to understand and inhabit Melbourne's public space. From Federation Square, the Archbishop has branched out across Melbourne and beyond, to Fountain Gate Shopping Centre on the road to Pakenham, to Airport West, Dandenong Plaza, Victoria Gardens, Southland, Bayside at Frankston, and Glenfrey Road in Hawthorn. He has also visited an Anglicare Women's Centre in Broadmeadows and 3 Brotherhood of St Lawrence projects at Brunswick. As the Archbishop has gone from place to place, he has recorded his reflections on his blog. Friday, February 9, 2007. I have just returned from a very enjoyable day meeting with people at Fountain Gate Shopping Centre and Dandenong Plaza. I feel constantly humbled by Melburnians' willingness to share their lives, their hopes, their worries with me as I undertake my Prayer for Melbourne quest. Today I met a widower who in his loneliness goes to Fountain Gate regularly just for the human contact. Friday, February 23, 2007, Glenfrey Road, Hawthorn. I met an enthusiastic group of men and women from the Surrey Hills Day Centre, enjoying a stroll through the park. These men and women are both physically and mentally disabled, and their carers took great delight in supporting them. It raised again the issue of enough services for families with adult disabled children. The day centre is full, and as little as 1 new place becomes available each year. Anglicare Women's Community House, Broadmeadows, March 13, 2007. The old and the new, heritage embracing multiculturalism, women revelling in each other's friendship and support. That was my experience yesterday as I was welcomed into the Anglicare Women's Community House in Broadmeadows. Up to 70 women pass through the doors of the house each week, attending support groups, antenatal classes and other activities. The Brotherhood of St Lawrence, March 28, 2007. I was blown away yesterday, not literally of course, but figuratively, by the passionate and inspiring staff at the Brotherhood of St Lawrence. The Brotherhood's chaplain, Jeff O'Hare, invited me to visit as part of my Prayer for Melbourne quest, and I had a very special morning. Our first port of call was the Brotherhood's Napier Street Family and Children's Services. Manager Janet Williams-Smith gave me a snapshot of life for refugee families seeking settlement in the Fitzroy and Collingwood estates. We walked back across the parkland surrounding the estates for our next appointment, morning tea with the senior citizens of the Coolabah Centre. I was castigated for being late. They were waiting for me to share a delectable morning tea. The Archbishop's use of the public space has attracted considerable media interest. Believe it or not, even a television story with Austrian TV. So what are Archbishop Philip's priorities for Melbourne?
My first priority is people to learn the good news of the gospel, for people to become Christians. I'm very keen to have that as my first priority. But we have other priorities as well, and some of those are about our concern for people who are voiceless, for people who are poor, so I think that these are God's priorities.
There has been a curiosity and an acceptance of this man in the purple shirt and cross. In his most recent outing to Frankston last week, the centre manager expressed a warm appreciation for the chaplain who had worked at his last shopping centre, Northland. Matthew Norden welcomed the possibility of hosting local ministers in a chaplaincy role at Bayside. What a fabulous opportunity to be the face of Jesus in our modern meeting place, the suburban shopping centre. Our new Archbishop is excited by the limitless possibilities presented by Melbourne's public spaces. The Prayer for Melbourne Quest has been an exciting initiative which Archbishop Philip would love to see local parishes embracing. The challenge before all of us is how we too can use our own local public spaces in which to speak and demonstrate the love of Jesus.